Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome back to some more Star Citizen. Now today we're taking a look at the Gladiator. Now this is a dedicated bomber. It's a two-seater, and it carries loads of bombs basically. But it has other points as well. It's not just a bomber, it's well capable of defending itself as well once it's used its payloads. Now some of the key features that it's got 6-point shield generators. So if you've played Arena Commander before, you know what I mean by that. And what I mean by that is, let's say for instance, the M50 has a 2, which is forward and rear shields. This has 6. Now I don't know, I'm assuming that's going to be, I don't know how that's going to be laid out yet, but I guess it's going to be in like in a hexagon or something like that. We'll have to wait and see. So there's the first sort of advantage for it, and it says actually inside the brochure that it's going to be good as well through navigating its way through asteroid belts and things like that. It also has a anti-evasion technology, a way to lock on to inbound missiles, some sort of defense system. Doesn't really go into much detail in the brochure. That's sort of around about it really. So it's pretty obvious what a bomber is. Let's take a look around. Now the first observation I made was it definitely needs another pass on some lighting because it's very, very dark. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm sure they can update that. Now, it's got these sort of folding up sort of legs, these sort of skids that fold up. I prefer them actually folding up. It looks nicer once they all fold away. I'm sure the animations are going to look pretty cool as well. You've got them over here as well, and this sort of whole section folds directly up, so it's actually, you can actually see from this angle, look. Once it sort of folds up, that leg will go up, and then that arm folds down. It's pretty cool. Looks really nice. Some sort of like gas canister in there or something. Nice little lights on the landing. What's that down there? Funny little logo. Looks very nice. Got some nice payload here. It's got top and bottom mounted guns. So the top mounted guns are for your crew member. We'll take a look at that in a second. Let's have a walk around here. So see what else we've got. Nice signs down here. Not really much on the rear here. I actually compared this to the Avenger. I know what you're thinking. I know the Avenger's not a bomber, but this is it's got more maneuver thrusters. I would say better engines, although it does have more weight, obviously, because I'm assuming the payload, once it's fully loaded, the fully payload is going to be pretty high. But Star Citizen does take into account, if you use your payload, obviously that will help maneuverability, and that takes it all into consideration, so that's going to be quite interesting as well. What these arms as well, that on the side there look pretty cool. The engines actually look quite small, don't they? They don't look particularly large, do they? And we've got a centre leg here, that obviously folds up as well. Moving around this side. Missiles under the wing there, same sort of thing on this side. There's only that funny logo thing down there. Again. Nice weaponry. Sensor on the front there. Got some big guns on the top there as well. The entry system on this is pretty cool. There's a downside and there's a good side to this. I'll find the button, here we are. Go to some stand backs, so you can see this quickly. If you saw the top guns fold away there. Oh yes, does look pretty cool, I must admit. The only odd thing about it, what I thought, is every time, if you're in the cockpit and the mate wants to get in, you have to go for that animation every time he wants to get in. Not that he's going to be getting in and out very often. You've got this sort of section here. There's actually a ladder there, look. Looks like a ladder, doesn't it? Maybe that's going to be used for escape or something. So we've got 2 seats to choose from here. So we'll have a look in the front one first of all. Let's jump in this one. You can see the eject seat there as well, which is going to be implemented later on. Let's find the seat. Here we go. Jump in, have a look. Up we go. Right, here we are inside. Now, the odd thing about that was, I don't know if you noticed, when I was on the ground there, I suppose you both have to be sitting. As soon as you get into the seat goes up. Which doesn't make sense to me, because that means that you're going to have to coordinate getting in the seat at the same time. if you make sense. Or one person gets in. Yeah, a bit weird, isn't it? Because then you get down the bottom and you get out the seat again. So they'll probably have to change the entry, because obviously that's not going to work out in game, is it? Now, let's have a look what we got inside. The visibility is not that great. I mean, there is a bit of a blind spot there. It's almost like the seat wants to go a little bit higher, doesn't it? And push me up into the canopy a little bit more. I'm sure that can be adjusted. Viewing angle's not bad. Like, once again, I think it'd be a little bit better if you're a little bit higher up. You can see some displays we've got here, which will probably be plugged in later on. That's obviously going to be your navigational in front. What else we got? Thruster there. The hand animation looks a bit odd. You can see the foot pedals down there where my feet are as well. Not really much else to see here, but what we can do, we can jump out here and have a look around. Which is actually probably the better view, actually, isn't it? So let's have a look. Let's have a see the blind spot there. He's way too down. He's way too low in that canopy there, isn't he? I mean, you can't even see his head. No wonder he can't see this direction. His head should be at least another foot higher than that, really, for him as a pilot to get that maximum view range around the ship. He's almost not non-seeable, isn't he? Let's take a look over. Let's have a look inside this way as well. Quite a sort of tight little fit in there as well. Let's move up on the top now and have a look around here. You can see some manoeuvre thrusters on the top there. I don't know if we can actually climb on the body yet. I haven't found a way up. This is actually a better view. There's the lighting up here is a lot better. What's that thing there? Look. Obviously some sort of vent. Let's move around this side. Does look fantastic, doesn't it? The other thing we can actually do as well, if I just pan the way back round again, we can actually zoom in that top turret. We're going to go in there in a minute, but this is going to give you a different view. Whoa. Okay, so actually we could go in that way. There we go. You get to see inside there a little bit. It actually looks like there's a little window to the side there, look. It looks like it from the inside. Was it a fire extinguisher? Can't quite make it out. Go inside and have a look. This thing right next to me here. Looks like a fire extinguisher, doesn't it? Break glass, can't quite see it. Okay, let's jump out. And I wonder if we can see the animations from here. If I quickly go that and then do that maybe. I don't think something going on there. Pedals are going down. Down we go. So he uses his hand just to get out there. Now let's get in the rear seat, in the gunner's seat now.
There are no open beverage containers permitted on the flight deck.
Up we go. You can't actually move your head while you're in the animation either. Not that it's necessarily a major thing. Let's see if we can go outside now quickly. Look at this. That looked pretty cool, doesn't it? So when it's actually going up, it's to get in, the gun's got to be facing to the rear for the entry, and then once you're in, it rotates round. Let's take a look inside now. See what we've got. So, looks quite basic, doesn't it? What you actually get here. I'm assuming what you're going to see in front of you is a bit blurry on the screen, but obviously that's some of your weapons, isn't it?
Please contact the administration office.
Yeah, it looks nice, doesn't it? I don't know if we can actually rotate this turret or not. Pretty certain you should be able to. Got some signs down the side there. You can't actually see the fire extinguisher. The viewing angle's not bad, is it? On the basis that you can rotate the turret, it's probably going to be okay, isn't it? Let's go into this view. It's not a bad view, is it? Let's move around the back here. Have a look. Obviously, the blind spot is going to be underneath, isn't it? I think more than anything. Let's pop back inside. Yeah, doesn't look too bad, does it? Looks nice. Not really much to see in here, really. Gun 1 and gun 2, I suppose. By the numbering there. Some cooling pipes there. Right, let's pop out. Can't get outside to see the animation, unfortunately. Only do it when actually you're down the bottom. See if we can do it on the other view.
Ship 1, landing in Hangar 99.
Getting the seat again.
If this is your first time planetside, check with your local info agent for a little maintenance. Please report.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's a good entry system. I actually like the entry system. I think there's a few things that obviously need to be sorted out on the ground as you get out. Like I said earlier, it does seem a little bit odd, the fact that it's going to have to be a synchronized entry, isn't it? What the stuff is a switch there? Look, what's that on and off button? Don't know if you're going to be able to interact with all this stuff, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, I'm assuming the missile part of it, firing the missiles, is done by the cockpit, and the gunner is there to fire them top guns. I don't know if he's going to have any control over the actual firing of the missiles, because you could see that as some sort of like little control center. But I suppose the downside was that if he starts aiming on the missiles, then there's no one going to be firing the actual guns. But there is wing-mounted guns as well, so the pilot can obviously be firing them, whilst I suppose the co-pilot, if you want to call it that, is actually firing the top guns. So there's a couple of options there. So it looks quite nice. And the other thing about this you've got to keep in mind is this is, okay, it is a bomber, it carries bombs. And I originally thought of it, not quite a B-52 bomber, not quite that big, but maybe, I wasn't going to say light bomber, but it's actually well armoured and it's quite well defended as well. And it's got the ability to be a fighter once it's depleted all its ammunition. So it's actually a relatively good ship. If you like that sort of fighting role, this could actually be a really, really good ship. Now, I suppose the other way you've got to look at it as well, if you're going to be attacking a large ship, a Bengal carrier, or whatever you're going to be attacking, Constellation in this class, some of the things you're probably going to need as actually flying towards the target, you would have thought it would have been a cooperative thing, that you might be flying in with some of your friends, flying towards the target, they draw fire, you fly in the Gladiator, you know, hit the target and then fly off. And then obviously you've got the armour and you've actually got the shield capability of surviving the exit. That's what I see it as. And I think that's quite a fun role to play. I mean, at the same time, if you were flying through space and someone was in the Avenger, would they attack you? Oh, they'd probably think twice, wouldn't they? Let's say you're not going to be an easy target, and if you manage to hit one of your missiles onto a smaller craft, it's going to do some quite devastating damage, I should imagine. Now, one of the things we're also going to see in the next coming weeks, once we get into that patch 1.0, is hopefully we're going to start seeing some more missile classes and missile types. We've already seen some preliminary images, so that's something to look forward to. So that's my look round anyway, guys, around the Gladiator. It looks like a really nice ship. I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't say I'm going to go out and buy one, but it does look nice. I can see some key factors from it. The only thing I would say, I think that maybe they need to work on some of the lighting a little bit underneath. It does look like it's got a bit better now, doesn't it? That's really weird, isn't it? I wonder what's happening there. I wonder if it's because of the doors open, the bottom door. Seems a bit lighter underneath the wings now. Slightly odd. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.